All right, welcome to part 2 of custom fields. We're going to go ahead and get this working a little bit more dynamically by calling these custom fields in the back end of our page template. Sometimes you're going to find, with any programming language, that jargon becomes an issue where you become talking about things at a quick pace. So it's always worthwhile to slow down and go back and kind of look at a reference when you have something like, I say, we're going to use a custom page template, custom fields, this, and just spout things off like that. We're going to try to go as slow as possible to kind of keep us all on the same page about this, but it's okay if you get lost a little bit. Just kind of being around it over time is going to get you acclimated a little better.
And part of this too, once you get going on custom fields and understand them just a little bit, it's going to kind of take off in terms of the speed at which you can get stuff done. So it's possible we'll get going a little bit faster once we get stuff going, but we should walk you through it all so that you understand it as good as possible here.
Exactly. So the way we're going to get this set up to dynamically work is we're going to go into our page template with the home.php. So go ahead and open that up. And you also want to have your field groups open up here so you can just look at them. You don't need to open each one individually, but this is our grouping, our home page grouping,
right,
which we've created. And the main thing you're going to want to look at is the field name here. Now, I'm going to show you how to do this because it's very easy to memorize. You can also go to the Advanced Custom Fields documentation page. If you just go to your plugin and click Help or click more information on the plugin, it'll take you directly to the Advanced Custom Fields page where they have a great community and they have fantastic tutorials. Like John said, once you get a little bit of this under your belt, it can really take off and become very easy to use. So I'm going to show you how to do that getting started right now. Now, if we look at our home page template we have set up here, the first dynamic content area, we're not going to edit the intro, container, row, call MD12. We're not going to do that. This, though, is the part that we're going to have be editable, right?
Right.
All we need to do is we're going to open up PHP. Anytime we're going to do something dynamic, we're going to use PHP. So open and close your PHP. If you haven't already figured this out, you've probably broken some code somewhere by not properly opening and closing your PHP tags, or for calling a PHP function outside of PHP, or whatever else it is. I mean, this is so easy to run into with any type of coding language. Just make sure you're opening it with the opening bracket, question mark, PHP. You're closing it with question mark, closing bracket. And then anytime you have a statement, at the end of the statement, there's a semicolon. To enter our field, we're going to use the simple code, the field. That's the function. There are quotation marks like this. And then we enter the field slug, which we've already created for each different thing. So that's going to be different for each one, whatever the given field you've created is. So let's go to our field groups here, and we can say the field name. That's what we're referring to. This one's called main header. We can copy this, since this is the main header, and this is what we're replacing right now. And inside of there, let's just paste main header. So inside of here now, we don't have creative WordPress themes or whatever. It's not going to show up anymore. This is going to fail or succeed. So let's save the changes, refresh our page, and see what we get.
And if you noticed, this is the main header. It's displaying a little bit different than what we had in there before. What we had in there before had a BR tag in it. So the break was causing that to drop down to a second line, right?
Right.
So right now, since we don't have that tag in this text editor, but we could put that tag back in there and make it look exactly like it did before.
We could, and let's do that. Let's actually change the content now to creative WordPress theme. And like Jonathan said, we're going to add this BR tag in here and save that out. Let's look what happens.
Uh-oh.
Know what's happening there?
We don't have that text set up to read that as HTML.
Exactly. So if we go, let's go back to our field group for the main header, and let's take a look at it if we edit. Now this is the name, the field type, that stuff's all fine. The problem here specifically with this type of thing, or with the text inputs, is convert HTML into tags. So if we want to allow them to have that BR there, we want to convert HTML to tags. We'll update. Now update your page.
Bam.
Works great. So let's go ahead and do the same thing with these other areas. Let's just take and copy this.
And notice where he's putting it. He's putting it right in between the other tags. In this case, he's putting it in between the H3 tags.
Mm-hmm.
And when we do the next one, you'll put it in between the link tags or the A tags.
Yep. So this is the subheader. I'm actually going to copy this content too and put it in my page. So it shows the same thing here. The lorem ipsum. I think I'll be able to remember the button. And let's make sure, is it called subheader like this? Yeah, you can see right here the field name is subheader. The next one is called a button underscore text. So let's copy this. And we'll call this button text. Save these changes. I'll save this page too since I've made some changes here.
Well, the button's going to be called "This is a button," but that's okay.
Yeah, exactly. That's all dynamic.
And see, notice here, one thing that did happen was this is the button. Did you have an exclamation point there?
Uh-huh.
Oh, no, it fit inside there. It actually...
Yeah, the button's going to be set to have a certain padding and a certain padding, and you can put different stuff in there. That's the cool thing. The CSS is automatic for you once you've already created it. So
right.
It's really, really powerful. And now, obviously, I can change any of that content. Add more content here.
And again, this is
out.
The client's able to do this. That's the easiest changes you'll ever make to anything, right?
That's amazing. You're keeping all the formatting in place. So we're going to do the exact same thing with all of this stuff down here now, and I'll go ahead and just walk you through it in the next section, just to give us a little bit more experience doing it, because we'll have plenty of time to learn this over time. Anything else we want to mention on this right now?
I think that is it.
One more thing we might consider when doing this. This isn't set up to be a dynamic link just yet, but if you wanted to make the link variable too, to where it could go to different places, you could also do that in the back end here where this just says ahref.
Let's go and do that real quick.
Such. Sure. Let's just create a new field for it, which we haven't created yet. Go to our field groups, and we'll add a field. This is going to be the link that we're going to go to.
And I think this is a really important step that when I take themes and develop them for people, pre-made themes, they have all these little subheader areas, and they don't let me edit the link. It's one of the most annoying things of all time when you can't go in there and edit that link.
Okay, so we'll call this the button link. Enter the link that you're, or the URL. How's that? Required. We're not going to convert HTML into tags because we can't put HTML inside of a link. So we'll put no formatting. We'll close that field out. And that order is okay. Now you can actually move this order around any way you want to, but just by dragging and dropping, just to keep that in mind. So let's update this page now. We should see another option for our link. Enter the URL, and let's just say / let's just check / about right now. And actually, in this case, since we're in a subdirectory, I think we need to add / token, which is our subdirectory.
Or we could add the PHP tag in there, if we allowed tags.
You still can't add PHP on the front end either way. You can add HTML but not PHP. So it'll convert HTML tags but not PHP tags. So then here we're going to do the same thing we've done on the rest of this. Let's open up our PHP and close it. The field, and we called this button text or button link. So see, that's inside the quotes of the href there. Let me make sure that's the right naming. Button _ link. So let's update this page and see if this link is changed. It is. Notice on the bottom left corner, / token / about. And if we have an about page, which we do, take us to the about page.
Awesome.
So now that's dynamically editable. Obviously, you're not going to have this sitting in a subdirectory in most cases, and you could. If you have it sitting in a subdirectory, instead of doing it this way, you could say / token. So the client never has to see that. Update this. And then they just have to put, it's going to be in / about. And if we update that, it's going to work exactly the same way. have 2 forward slashes there, but that's the right idea. No, I don't. That's perfect. Excellent. So let's go ahead and add the rest of these in the next section.